everyone, welcome to Working Horses with Jim. Today we have a special day. Today we are on location at Boonville Fair. We've got Bill here, who's very interested in something over there, and Baron. Boonville Fair is about 2.5 hours from our house, southwest, and we are here today to pull in the horse pull. And I believe there's, not sure, but I think last time I heard there's 8 teams in this class. And the new thing about this pull is that it will be with the dynameter, which is a truck pull, and Jim will be explaining to you a little bit about what that means. It is a different kind of pull, and it is a longer pull. They have to pull the weight 27.5 feet, so it's going to be different. I've been noticing today, Baron, how these two have become quite a team together. Yes, you just saw Baron almost biting Bill, but it was kind of in a loving way, and it's kind of neat to see them just kind of being a team together. So we'll see how they do today. Everything's new.
Good morning, guys. So this is the truck. We generally just call it the truck when it comes to horse pulling, but it's actually the dynamometer. I don't know. There's a Brenda called it dynameter, but it's actually I think it's a different name than that. But anyways, this is the truck, and I will try to explain even today a little bit about this, although I don't know a huge amount about it. So today we decided to come down to pull in the truck for something different, and I have done this one time, maybe twice in the past 35 years, but it's been a long time since I've actually pulled on this truck. And of course my horses that I have now have never pulled on this truck, and it does take it is quite a learning curve, and we just don't do it enough to even get really used to it.
Here's a contingent from our area.
It'll probably break the camera just all looking at it.
Getting ready for the pull.
It is the judge's decision as to how much to weight and each time. Qualified pull is 27.5 feet. Each team will have 3 attempts to make a qualified pull. A teamster may pass on the 2nd or 3rd attempt. If a team steps over the rope, the attempt is disqualified. Please remain silent while the horses are pulling. They tend to stop if they hear loud noises. Our officials for this contest are Judge Brian Armstrong, who's been a long-time director of the New York State Fair Pullers Association. On the track, there's going to be Bill Courts, there's going to be Ben Simons, Dan Stish is going to be out there. This competition is supervised by the New York State Department of Ag and Markets. Blood samples will be taken from the winning team and 2 other teams at random at the conclusion. Our supervising veterinarian is Dr. Smith. So if the sled is ready, you're going to start at 2,800, correct? It's an optional pull. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the judge just said this is an optional pull. They can pull at 2,800 or they don't have to pull at 2,800. I'll give you the lineup now. Tonight, pulling in first place, Champagne and Smith. Dan Smith, the owner, from Cunningham, Massachusetts, with Jack, and Ned. They will be followed by Armiston, Clark, and Armiston. They'll be using Trip and Charlie. They're from Freedom, New York. Pulling in third place is Dodge and April. Wayne Dodge pulling from Oswego, New York. He's pulling with Fred and Prince. In fourth place position is Bill Thomas. Bill's doing the driving with from Canton, New York, Harley and Rock. And fifth place will be another team from Champlain and Smith. Dan Smith will be doing the driving. He'll be driving Todd and Levi. Pulling in sixth position will be Armisen and Clark. Owen Armisen doing the driving from Freedom, New York. He'll be pulling Tommy and Prince. Pulling in seventh place is Harriman, Speck, and Stackhouse. Casey Harriman doing the driving from Muncie Valley, Pennsylvania. And he'll be pulling Jay and Barney. Pulling in eighth place will be Jim Gordon. Jim doing the driving. Bushton, New York. He'll be pulling Bill and Barron. So we have 8 teams competing.
So my friend Bill Thomas and myself are the only ones that really have never pulled on a truck before. So we are going to take this option pull, the first one, and everyone else will continue when we go into the next weight. Here, Casey Harriman is driving Bill's team up to him.
Give a nice round of applause. That's a full pull. Is Dan coming up with his second team? He's passing. Next would be Armisen and Clark.
So now it's my turn to try, and of course as we're going in here it's totally different for these horses, and they're a little bit scared of what's going on being the first time. I chose to drive myself and walk up onto the truck, which really wasn't that hard to do, and they were able to hitch on and go good. So we pulled it the 27.5 feet, and the whistle blew, and it went well. I unhitched, and of course this all being new to the horses, as soon as I unhitched, I think Barron thought he was going to be still needing to pull, and he took off out of there like a wild man and had a little trouble slowing him down, but we got him under control and he was fine.
To the sled now we need Dan Smith.
I am planning on saying very little in this video, and I hope to just have you enjoy the horse pull, but I still want to share a few more things. This is the truck that they just wetted the track down with, mostly to keep the dust down. So Brian is the judge. He's standing on the truck right there, and if you notice behind him there's a big pile of steel, and when the teamsters hitch on, if you watch that pile of steel, it goes straight up in the air. And I'm told that the trick to this truck is to be very fast and to hit it really hard so that the weight goes right to the top and stays there as long as possible, because as soon as it starts dropping down, it's actually pulling the horses backwards in a sense, because as the weight's going down, it's pulling on the cable that you're hitched to. A friend of mine told me that the truck is actually kind of hard for logging horses to deal with, because when you're logging and you can't pull a log and the horses slow down, the log generally doesn't go backwards, and with this truck you're actually pulled backwards slightly if you slow down. The whole weight setup has something to do with hydraulics, and I don't understand it, but I do know that it's quite noisy when you're pulling on this truck. I was surprised about that. the truck is not running, of course, but just all the noise from the mechanism, it's really hard to get your horses to even hear you, to try as you're coaxing them to go fast or to go farther. It's rather noisy and it's rather hard for them to hear you. Right there is a good example of how to do it. If you notice, that weight went right to the top, and he was able to pull that right out and kept right on going and kept the weight up there until he crossed his 27.5 feet.
Teams that have entered the area, please come to the stage to register your teams. Coming up next will be Wayne Dodge with Fred and Prince. On deck will be Bill Thomas with Harley and Rock.
Yes, a little further.
Full for Wayne Dodge and his team. Next, Bill Thomas coming to the sled. On deck will be Dan Smith with Toad and Levi. The third forward. That's a full ball for Dan Smith. Owen Arneson to the sled, followed by Casey Harriman. Round of applause there for the full four right there. And now Casey will be bringing up Jay and Barry. Fair. Coming up to the sled will be Jim Gordon, then we will raise the weight, and Dan Smith will be up. This is Jim Gordon coming to the sled with Bill and Barron, and Dan Smith will be coming for his first attempt at 3,200 with Jack and Wes on deck. Another full pull. Everybody had a full pull of 3,000 pounds. We'll now raise the weight to 3,200. Boonville Oneida County Fair is still one of the few fairs in the state.
So I was very pleased with that pull, and of course hoping to get a few more pulls in.
200 head of cattle in here. Some come, some leave, some more come. So this is one of the truly agricultural fairs in New York State, and we're very proud of that situation, of that circumstances, I should say, that we are agricultural here in Boonville. And we appreciate you people coming out and supporting us, the agricultural end of it too. So thank you. Dan does the driving. They're from
Champaign and West.
and Massachusetts. Say that twice.
Dan Smith driving.
So I'm really curious, guys, on what you guys think of horse pulling and what you think of the preference that you have of a pulling on the truck or pulling on a stone boat. Both preference as if you are pullers, which you prefer to do, and also if you're just spectators, which type of horse pulling do you prefer to watch? Let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you guys.
First team attempt at 3,200 was a full pull. Also here at the Oneida County Fairgrounds, Armisen and Clark team with Caleb doing the driving, Trip and Charlie to the sled, Wayne Dodge on deck. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Dodge and Andrew team, Wayne Dodge doing the driving, Fred and Prince from Owego, New York, to the sled. On deck, Bill Thomas from Canton, New York. Nice round of applause. That's a full pull also. Bill Thomas will bring up Harley and Rock, and Champagne and Smith, with Dan Smith doing the driving, with Toad and Levi.
Now, if you watch closely to the weights, Bill did not get a good start on this load. And of course, both him and I are inexperienced at this with our horses, so we're not quite sure even how to do this. But anyways, not trying to make excuses, but anyways, the weights did not go very high up, as you can see. But boy, look at them pull. They just hung right in there, and got that load across.
Determination right there. Determination. Dan Smith bringing up Toad and Levi. Owen Arneson is on deck with Tommy and Prince. Next up will be Owen Arneson for Arneson and Clark, and Freedom, New York. He's going to be driving Tommy and Prince. Nice round of applause. That's another full pole, ladies and gentlemen. Next, Mr. Casey Harriman will be coming to the sled with Jim Gordon on deck.
Oh, no, you're okay.
Nice round of applause for a pole for Casey Harriman with Jay and Barney, Jim Gordon.
Play.
So I was somewhat pleased with the start of this pull, but then after we went, I don't know, I think about 18, 19 feet, they just slowed right down and we were done. I should have just quit at that point because I knew the horses just weren't ready for this type of pulling, but I decided I'd try one more time.
Take your second there, or you can pass your second, take the third down there on that end. I don't know. All right.
I'm thinking that, well, for one, I think it's very easy to come up with excuses when you don't do that well at a competition, and I'm not trying to do that here at all today. But it's difficult when your horses are used to working and pulling like 12 feet to go to 27.5 feet, because a lot of times they would just go, 15, 20 feet and then think, oh, I've gone far enough. And so they just kind of slow right down. And as soon as they slow down, that weight on the truck just makes it extra hard. That's the way it is sometimes. I think sometimes when you're pulling and you do really well and even win the class maybe, you don't learn as much as when you take dead last. I think sometimes when you take dead last at a horse pull, you really think about what you did wrong and what you could improve. And I think as a general rule, you'll learn more when you take last than when you take first. Just something to think about.
I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but Caleb's last name's Armistead, not Clark.
Wait a minute, I can't. I said Armistead and Clark.
Clark, but it's Caleb Armistead.
Nice round of applause. That's a full pull for Dan.
Caleb Armistead.
Bringing up his team at this time on deck, Bill Thomas. As I mentioned, the heavyweights will start approximately 5 o'clock. It'll be about a half-hour break whenever this one is over with. If it's over at 5, it'll be like 5:30 when we start. If you're over with by 4:30, we'll start right around 5 for the heavyweights. The full pull, 3,400. Bill Thomas coming up with Harley and Rock on deck. Field tractor pull and antique tractor pull. That begins at 9 a.m. Give him a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He will have an opportunity for a second pull if he so desires.
Feet 3 inches,
Have a chance for a
and
third pull. Van Smith will be bringing up
is
total
passing on a
Levi at
second.
this time. On deck will be Armstrong Clark with Owen doing the driving with Tommy and Prince. And give a nice round of applause. Full pull. So there's a lot going on for the animals here at the fair. Give a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. His pole was 25 feet, 3 inches. Judge, is he passing his second?
Yep.
He is passing on his second attempt. He will have an opportunity for a third attempt. Next will be Casey Harriman bringing Jay and Barney to the sled for the last puller at this weight, and then we'll go back to Bill Thomas for his third attempt. Round of applause at the full pull. At this time, Bill Thomas will have his third attempt at pulling 3,400 pounds. He can have the truck moved wherever he wants it on the deck. Mr.
He's done.
Okay, Mr. Clark. Excuse me, Mr. Thomas is passing. It will be now Owen Arneson's attempt at his third attempt at a full pull. Mr. Arneson. So we will now raise the
They're
weight
passing as
another
well.
200 pounds.
Stan Smith with 3,600 on the boat.
a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The first pull he had 22 feet, and his second attempt he had a full pull. Iverson and Clark's Trip and Charlie will be coming to the sled. On deck will be Dan Smith with Toad Levi. Give a nice round of applause. That's a full pull right there. We have two at this weight now. Next will be Wayne Dodge on deck with her to the sled with Fred and Trent. And then on deck will be Dan. Any heavyweights that have entered the fairgrounds that have not registered, please come to the announcer stand at this time. Another full pull. Next will be Dan Smith with Toad Levi. Give a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. His first pull was 25 feet 8 inches. His second attempt was 15 feet 7 inches. He has a chance for a third attempt. Next, Casey Harriman will bring his team up to the sled. This will be the last attempt at a full pull, or at a pull at this weight for this team, and then we'll go back if he wants his third pull for the last team. Full pull, ladies and gentlemen. We now have 4 teams with a full pull, and Dan Smith has the option of coming back for his 3rd attempt at a full pull. Congratulations, there's a full pull from 3 attempts, but he has a full pull. We'll now reset the sled at 3,800, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams competing at 3,800. Give a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our first attempt at 3,800 pounds.
So 18 foot 11 inches on his first try, and he's passing his second.
First leg now, we have Taylor Arneson and Clark driving 5th and 3rd. Give a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to wait to drink for you in a moment. The passing on the second. Wayne Dodge with Fred and Prince. On deck, I need Dan Smith with Toad and Levi. This weight now is 24.7 rolling tons.
Whoa. Whoa. It's whoa. Here.
Nice round of applause. That's a full pull for Wayne Dodge and Fred and Prince. To the machine now is Dan Smith with Toad Levi, and on deck is Casey Harriman with
Whoa. Whoa. 1-3. Get over there. Whoa. 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 Levi. Whoa.
Give a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The first pull was 12 foot 3 inches.
5'3".
And this one was 5 foot 3 inches. To the sled, Casey Harriman with Jay and Barney, and on deck would be Dan.
.9 on his first. 21.10 on his second. 21.10.
Okay, he had a first pull of 5'9", second pull was 21.10. At this weight, Dan Smith has an option to come back for his third attempt with Jack and Wes. On deck would then be Caleb Armisen for his third attempt, and Trip and Charlie.
Dan, you want it here or back? Right here. Right there. Perfect. 23-10.
23-10 was his third attempt.
Gotta go back.
Give him a nice round of applause. He got a full pull with that team right there on his third attempt. Next will be Dan Smith with Colton Levi. So now we have Casey Harriman bringing up Jay and Barney for his third attempt. Give him a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you very much for being here. Two teams in competition are Armisen and Clark, Tripp and Charlie, and Dodge and April, Fred and Prince, and we are raising the weight. Armisen and Clark. Caleb Armisen doing the drive-in from Freedom, New York with Tripp and Charlie, his first attempt at 4,000 pounds. Give it a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was his first attempt.
11-5.
He pulled 11 feet, 5 inches. I assume he's passing on his second, Judge? He is passing on his second attempt. We now need Wayne Dodge with Fred and Prince for his first attempt at 4,000 pounds. Pulls come right down to 2 teams out of 8 teams, pulling at 4,000 pounds.
You guys hit them all today? Huh? You guys hit them today?
Big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. For 21 feet even. You're passing on your second?
Yep.
If he wants a third attempt, here he comes for his third attempt. He has to beat 21 feet even. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much for coming here tonight, this afternoon, and supporting the Boonville and Ida County Fair. We certainly hope you've had a good time enjoying this horse pull. It will probably be close to 5:30 when we actually start the heavyweights. So come on back and see us for the heavyweights. As of right now, I believe we have 7 teams in the heavyweights. So it should be a good show. Nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Nice round of applause. 18-4. So your winner for tonight is Wayne Dodge with a pull of 21 feet. Wayne, would you bring your team down in front of the grandstand, please?
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this horse pull. If you're wondering if I will come to a truck pull again with my horses, the answer is absolutely. Love to do it again. I'm sure I would experiment and try on a few other things that might make it better for me. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.